Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into, well, a really profound concept. Drawing from the work of Dr. Nader Attalla, the art of non-judgment. Our mission, really, is to unpack how our minds are constantly, categorizing things, explore the hidden costs of that, and most importantly, give you some practical ways to start moving beyond those automatic judgments day to day.
It's truly fascinating when you watch the mind, isn't it? It's like this perpetual motion machine,
Right.
just constantly generating what Dr. Attalla calls thinkingness, that inner chatter.
That voice, yeah.
The shoulds, the what ifs, the labels. It's kind of the mind's default software, the fundamental operating system of the ego.
Sorting everything.
Exactly. Sorting everything into good, bad, or maybe neutral. And that drives us towards things or pushes us away or we just feel indifferent.
Right.
Now, look, this categorizing had an evolutionary point, survival, navigation.
Sure, it helped us.
But the real issue we're digging into isn't judgment itself. It's the excessive judgment, the kind that actually separates us from, direct experience.
And often what we perceive as, an objective judgment about someone else, it's not really about them at all, is it?
No, often not.
It's more like a mirror.
Yeah.
Carl Jung had that great line. Projections change the world into the replica of one's own unknown face.
That's powerful.
Think about it, What really gets under your skin about other people? It often points to something in yourself you haven't quite owned up to.
The shadow side.
Exactly, the shadow side. Real freedom starts when we can actually look at that, accept it, and see those projections for what they are.
Yeah, and it's really key here to get the difference between what we could call discernment of truth versus just, judgment.
Okay, explain that a bit more.
Imagine, a master chef tasting a soup. They know exactly what's working, what's not, which flavors are right.
They can tell.
That's discernment. It's a clear seeing of what works, what functions, without needing to slap a good or bad label on it. Judgment, though, tends to see through these distorting filters of the ego. It kind of clouds things up instead of clarifying.
So it's not about being wishy-washy, it's about clarity.
Precisely. Seeing clearly.
Okay, so if this talk about the mind's operating system feels a bit, abstract, let's bring it down to earth. What does this mean for you, the listener, in your life?
Right.
Because when you actually start practicing non-judgment, the benefits are, pretty tangible psychologically. Dr. Attalla's work points to better overall well-being, less emotional reactivity.
Yeah, you're less easily triggered.
Exactly. And even being able to see beauty in places you didn't expect. When you quiet down that constant mental sorting.
You free up energy.
You do. And you often find more gratitude, maybe a clearer path to some inner peace, some joy. It stops wasting mental energy on endless evaluating and comparing.
And so much of that wasted energy comes from these things called cognitive distortions. Those irrational thinking patterns that just fuel excessive judgment.
Yes, the thinking tracks.
Just exactly. Like black and white thinking. Life's full of grays, but the mind insists on seeing only extremes. Success or failure, perfect or terrible.
All or nothing.
Or maybe compare and despair, where you only seem to notice how great everyone else is doing while zooming in on your own flaws.
Oh, that's a common one.
Very common. These aren't just little quirks. They're ingrained mental habits that really deepen judgment and honestly just drain you.
Those cognitive distortions really hit home for many of us, I think. But the good news is there are practical ways to practice non-judgment.
Absolutely. Things you can actually do.
Right. One I find pretty powerful is the curiosity practice. It flips judgment into genuine inquiry. So instead of what's wrong with them, you shift to maybe, I wonder what might be going on in their life that I can't see. It changes the whole feeling.
It really does. Opens things up.
And similarly, there's the language shift. It sounds subtle, but it's impactful. Instead of saying, that was a stupid decision, maybe try, that decision had consequences I wouldn't prefer.
Just takes the heat out of it.
Yeah. And there are other tools, too, like the morning invitation, setting an intention for the day, or the judgment pause, just a 3-second breath before reacting. They all help gently interrupt those automatic patterns.
And ultimately, look, the goal isn't to, completely eliminate judgment. That's probably not even possible or necessary.
It's not about becoming a robot.
No. It's about developing an awareness of when those judgments pop up and having the willingness to just gently let them go sometimes. And when you do that, this kind of natural peace can start to emerge from underneath all that mental noise.
That thinkingness.
Exactly. It echoes what Dr. Attalla points out. And, ancient teachings too, we still don't know everything. True, absolute judgment. It's impossible, really, because our view is always limited.
And maybe that's the most profound thing here. Non-judgment isn't about reaching some perfect neutral state. It's more about reclaiming the freedom that's already there before our conditioning kicks in.
Yeah, rediscovering something.
It's remembering how to see with maybe eyes of wonder instead of just assessment all the time. And discovering that the world becomes, well, infinitely richer when we stop trying to just reduce everything to labels and categories. So maybe something to reflect on. What judgments might you notice today? And could you, just gently, with a bit of curiosity, set one or two aside?